cut the crap. We've all been here before. January rolls around and we're like, this is the year that I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. March comes and everybody's like, oh, I want this year to be over. Listen, that era is over. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the tips that I'm going to be using to achieve my goals this year so that by this time next year, we're not literally regurgitating this information. We're not consuming information like this. We're sharing how we accomplish our goals. We're inspiring people on how they're gonna do it, okay? Are you with me? Let's go. So the first tip I have for myself and you, and this is probably one of the biggest realizations that I had towards the end of this year, the motivation myth. A lot of the times when I'm not motivated to do something, I go and Google how to motivate myself or how to get motivated, or I listen to these really awesome motivational speeches that we have on YouTube. And one thing I realized is sometimes you're in a dark place. Life happens. Things that are not really within your control will come up that will hinder you from doing the things that you're supposed to be doing to hit the goals that you set for yourself. We're not always going to be motivated. We're not always going to be in the mood. And when it's a regular job that you have, when you know you have to be there, that's different, okay? You're obligated. So you kind of have to go do it whether you want to or not. But when it's tied to personal goals that you set for yourself, things that you want to do, you're not getting paid for it, at least not yet. Nobody, okay? Nobody's coming to tell you to get off from your couch and go get it done. On the days that I don't feel motivated, I have to remind myself that motivation is a myth. Discipline is a lifestyle. Even when you don't feel like it, things are not gonna magically happen for you. You have to really push yourself up, get up, and do it anyway. That workout, get up and do it anyway. That business plan, that capital you need to get your business off the ground, nobody is going to come to your home, push you out there, and get you to do it. The cycle we find ourselves in is we go online, we're seeing people who did it and we're like, how? Is it luck? It's not luck, honey. It's discipline. If you're not disciplined, if you're not putting in the effort, it's gonna be really hard to see results. And that's not how we plan on going through 2024. We're not gonna rely on being motivated. Right now it's January, everybody and their moms are motivated to, do stuff, to lose weight, to build that brand, to start that YouTube channel, to do whatever it is that they wanna do. But when that feeling wears off, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna rely on? Discipline, okay? I want you, and I'm doing this myself, I want you to take that word discipline, write on a piece of paper and put it on your mirror. Put it somewhere where you're gonna see it every day. So when you feel like you're not in the mood to do the things that you need to do to hit your goals, look at that word and remember that motivation is not gonna get you from point A to point B. Motivation is that mindset. It's wishful thinking at this point. Discipline is really what's gonna propel you and get you moving. Number 2 is to implement the flywheel effect into your life. Now, I learned about this concept about 3 years ago through the Brain Coach. If you follow her on Instagram, she posts really great content on everything that has to do with the brain, really. So the flywheel effect really has to do with the concept of removing friction and applying force in order for you to gain momentum. How do you apply that, in the context of your personal goals? Think of somebody pushing this ginormous flywheel, and they're not gonna push it the first time and have it go super fast. No, they're gonna go the first time and the second time and the third time, and over time, all that force that they've put into that flywheel, it's gonna reduce the friction, and eventually it's gonna start to go faster and faster by itself. Little changes that you make in your life really compounds and really starts to prepare you for that person that you want to be, that future you, that person that we are going to be this time next year. Tip number 3, don't share, do. This is one that I am very guilty of, and I think it's very prominent today. We want to feel like we're doing something. We want to feel like we are accomplishing things. But what that does is when you share something before before you do it. It kind of psychologically affects you in the sense that it makes you feel like you've actually done it already. That momentum that you're supposed to be building within you to actually propel you to go do the things that you're supposed to do, you've used all that energy to say it. You've shared it. Next thing you know, you did nothing. Not only is that embarrassing, because trust me, people remember, even though there are friends, even though there are families, when we're always constantly talking about the things that we want to do and not doing it, we start to lose integrity in front of people. We start to basically look like a clown, okay? So don't be a clown. Don't be that person who is always talking about what they want to do. Go and do it. I love this this interview she did where she said, don't talk about what you want to do.
Don't talk about what you're going to do. Don't just dream about what you're going to do. Don't criticize somebody else for what they're not doing. You be it. Be about it. Be about that action and go do it. Keep your eye on your intention.
So this year, we're gonna stop talking about what we wanna do and we're gonna just do it. Tip number 4 is to set big picture goals and use the STEP method. When we get really excited about a new year, we tend to overwhelm ourselves and set unrealistic goals, and we start to put pressure on ourselves to accomplish. And if we're not able to, we start to lose courage and get negative. And next thing you know, we spiral down. It's, November, it's December, and we're back to square one. It's very important not to overwhelm yourself with doing too much, because let's be honest, this is just one year. I like to think of goals holistically. For example, if you want to buy a house this year, you need to get your credit right. You need to save on the down payment. You need to decide on a location, blah, blah, blah. And you don't have to accomplish that goal of getting a house this year, right? You don't have to. That can be your long term. That can be your 5-year goal or your 10-year goal. But at least you are checking off all the boxes and doing things that's going to lead you to that big picture goal where you actually want to get to. Now, in this example, I used the house. In your case, it may be whatever, but the point is big picture, STEP method, success at the end of the year. Okay, this time next year, we're not going to be making these videos. We're not going to be looking for inspiration on how to hit our goals. We're going to be sharing testimonies. We're going to be inspiring other people because now we know better. And my final tip is to stay focused. Whatever you're saying yes to, you're choosing. I think it's high time we start to take responsibility for our life and the things that we do. One of my ends for this year is if it's a maybe, it's a no. When you set goals for yourself, it's important that you learn to do things that lead you towards that goal. And so I want you to start looking at your life, start having the ability to discern and seeing, does this thing bring me closer to my goal? If you have a friend who is like, oh, let's go to party, or let's go to do this, or you have someone who's always trying to make you spend money and you're trying to save, or if you have, people who are just not as driven or as motivated in your life, and they're always bothering you or calling you to go do this or that. Every time you say yes to that, you're saying no to your goals. You are saying no to your dreams, and that's why next year you're gonna be back on YouTube, on Google, looking for tips to help you achieve your goals. And we're not gonna fall into that trap this year. When you're not following through with the goals that you set for yourself, or when you're doing things that do not align with that big picture goal, really ask yourself, am I choosing this or am I just going with the flow? We're not gonna go with the flow in 2024. Everything that we're doing, everything that we're saying yes to, let's make sure that it is in alignment with achieving our goals for this year, because I want that for myself and I want that for you too. All right, guys, enough rambling for today. I'm aware that there are 1,000,001 other videos like this right now on YouTube telling you how to accomplish your goals, but this is what I feel is gonna actually work for me this year. It's gonna actually work for you, and I want us to hold ourselves accountable. Which of these tips do you plan on implementing this year? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!